Hi, it's Suzy with another quick exercise tip. This week is Spinal Health Week. So today I wanted to share with you 3 simple exercises you can do to train the trunk muscles. One of the biggest mistakes that we see people make when they're training the core muscles is that they focus on one rather than all 3 of the muscle groups that they need to improve the stability and the support around the trunk area. So I'm going to show you an exercise for the front, for the sides and for the back. Let's start with the front. Now we're going to use a chair. You can do this in a couple of different ways. If you're not as strong in the muscles at the front of the trunk area, then it's probably better that you make sure you've got the chair seat behind you, so that if you do lean too far back, the seat will stop you. But if you're a little bit stronger, you're going to be sitting upright, keep your back nice and straight, and you're just going to pivot through the hips, leaning back as far as you comfortably can, without your feet lifting up, and then coming back up to the starting position. And we're going to try and do 8 of those. So leaning back, making sure that as we're coming back, we're not arching our back further back. We're keeping a nice tense middle section, and we're just moving through the hip joints here. So that's exercise number 1, and you want to do that 3 times. Now it's a good idea if you want to do this as a circuit if it's nice and easy for you to do. What that'll mean is you start with that exercise, and while you're resting from that one, we move straight on to the next. Now the next exercise, we're going to be working the muscles at the back of that trunk area. We're going to use a chair again, or something similar in height. I'm going to use the box here, and what you're going to be doing is lifting opposite arm and opposite leg. This is what we call a bird dog. Not too sure on the origins of the name, it's a bit strange, but the exercise itself is a great one to work on all of those muscles in that back of the trunk area. Now when we're doing it, we want to alternate left and right, and we want to do about 18 to 20 of those. Okay, so that would mean that we're doing between 9 and 10 on each side. And again, we're going to do that 3 times, but if we're doing it in our circuit, we can do it straight after we've done that first exercise. Now the final missing piece of the puzzle, which most people don't include, are those side of the trunk muscles. There are a couple of different ways that you can train these, but I think the easiest way is by doing a carry. So what you want to do is find an object at home that you can manage from a weight perspective, but that feels a tiny bit heavier than what you would want to lift overhead. Okay, so I've got a kettlebell here. I'm going to hold on to that, but it can be anything that you have at home. A paint tin, a bottle, anything you have access to. And what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and keep my trunk up nice and tall. The weight's going to want to pull me down to the side. I'm going to use those muscles to keep myself upright, and I'm going to make it a bit more challenging if I need to by adding a leg raise to that movement, like so. And make sure, of course, that you're doing it on the other side. We want to aim to be carrying the item for about 20 seconds. So the number of leg lifts is less important. It's more about the total time that you're holding this posture while holding the object. So again, 20 seconds for that one on either side, and putting that at the end of the circuit, and then repeating that another 2 times. Now you shouldn't get any pain in your back when you're doing all of these exercises, and they are nice and easy to scale. As I mentioned at the beginning, that first exercise, the further back you lean, the more of a challenge it will be. For the second exercise, if you find that it's easy in this position, what you can do is either walk your legs a little bit further back so you're in more of a plank position and perform the same exercise. And with our carry, as I mentioned, a heavier load, but also adding those leg lifts in and making them nice and high, slow and controlled will increase the difficulty. So I hope you've enjoyed today's tip. Stay safe, and I'll see you soon for another quick exercise tip.